So I've decided to move from still photography to just a short video about this fungus. It has changed remarkably in less than 24 hours. Here is the photo that I took by LED last evening just before dark. It was well into dusk, and decided not to use the flash function on the camera. And then this afternoon it looked like this. The fractal pattern's gone and gotten more globular, and now after pretty significant rain it's lightened up. It's almost stopped now, but we had about a 45-minute rainstorm, pretty heavy at times. Oh, by the way, I just saw the snail, the slug right here. So I just walked over to check it and see what the rain did to it, and it's turning gray. It was still white just a little while ago, and of course there's still white on it. But just check this out. This is one of the most interesting fungi I think I've ever seen. I have no clue what it is, and I haven't found any others in the neighborhood here. So I'm going to watch this over the next few days and make sure this is not the invasion of the body snatchers. If I start walking around howling, you'll know they got me. So I'm here on Northview Trail. Near the trailhead, actually. Camp 1 is right over there. Camp 2 is behind me. I'm going to walk over there in a second. This is the kind of the walkway into Camp 2, and I've been photographing and filming this very interesting fungus on the log that actually runs through Camp 2. But the main reason I'm clicking on, I'll just kind of walk over to Camp 2 with you, the rest stop I call it. And I call this fire camp. And this is the first fire in fire camp. I spent most of the afternoon getting the bench up. The piece of wood is just a piece of scrap wood from behind the dumpster, some tenant left, and 4 uprights that I cut to equal length and then sort of hammer them in the ground. I'll tell that story another time, but it's just rock solid. A little close to the fire pit, I think, but I can move the fire pit. I can't move the bench at this point. It's nailed in place, but nonetheless, this is just pleasant. I was feeling a little damp. It's cooled down. The rain was really nice. You can hear the wind blowing the moisture off of the trees. It's not raining anymore, I don't think, but it's feeling a little damp. My trousers in particular got kind of wet, so I thought, why not? Pit's far enough along. I don't know that I'm going to do many fires in here, but we'll see. Next week I'm going to order a new stove, the 180 Flame it's called. I traded sort of my Emberlit TI stove. Good stove, but just didn't meet my needs quite. So I've sold it. I'm going to order the 180 Flame next week, but didn't want to wait for a fire, and I'll probably use the fire pit for the 180 Flame, because I do not need a big fire, especially in 3 seasons. Just something to kind of warm and add a little light and enjoy the evening. And experimentally, I've got a couple of spit holders, one right here, another one over here. So green spit, right across those with fish, rabbit, bird, squirrel. You got cooking. And this was a fire that I started with a ferrocerium rod in the back of my knife, the back of my Mora. Maybe it is raining. The wind is definitely coming up. And showered some sparks over into a cotton ball, and then hit a petroleum jelly cotton ball and kept it going, and it went right up. Not any problem whatsoever. Didn't even use any birch bark on it or fat wood, just kind of wood that I'd snapped off of some standing trees, dead limbs off of standing trees, especially fir, little fir. Hemlock, not fir. Alright, so that's it. I just wanted to kind of film this initiation of the Camp 2 fire pit. And I'm going to click off and just kind of enjoy the fire for a while. And good evening. This is an impromptu stones map video, short one. And I filed this one under Bushcraft and North Esker Eco Study area. I am at Camp 2 on Northview Trail. Been working on this sort of a fireplace for a few weeks, just gathering stones and such, and have been intending also to build the bench that I'm sitting on. And I worked this afternoon until about 5 doing some video shooting. Made a major goof, one of those, damn. And it lost 2 hours, not entirely. I learned from the process, and it was a good run through, but I got to film the whole thing again. So decided, let me just take a break, and came out. And when I came out at 5, when I looked out the window before I came out, blue sky, balmy, high 70s, nice breeze. And by the time I got out here, we were just completely socked in with cloud. Still a very pleasant temperature, and then it unleashed probably 45 minutes pretty heavy rain. I had to put the, well, my half track is hanging on the tree over there. You probably can't see it. It's my walking stick right against it. Had to put on the rain cover and get out my rain jacket, and pants got pretty wet. But it was pleasant. It was heavy for 15 minutes. I mean, poured buckets for about 15 minutes, but then lightened up and shower, cooled it down by a good 10 degrees. Very comfortable. Plants are happy. Base camp studio is just, let's see, from here 50 paces, make it 75 to get to the side door. So this is really special. This is kind of an inauguration of the fire pit. And I'm so happy with the way it's drafting. It's opened up back here in the back. This part is facing basically, I'll call it west-northwest. So just drafting famously, the back wall built up just a little bit higher. And it's already one of the best drafting fire pits I've ever built. And it's just remarkable. Just totally happy with it. Breeze goes right through it. Remember, this is Parstone's map. This is going to be part of blending, integrating the science component of the Air Studies program, complexity, chemistry, biology, ecology, evolution, geosciences, and blending those with the bushcraft and the adaptability and showing how they fit together. And for example, this birch all over here, if you take a piece of that birch bark off of a rotten birch tree, get a piece the size of a basketball and lay it over there, it just goes up. It takes it a minute. Fresh birch bark that you peeled off of a living tree, you can spark it with a ferro rod and it burns like a blowtorch, but it has to be off of a living tree or recently dead. This dead wood, dead birch bark, large chunks of it on these big fallen birches, it doesn't serve as good tinder, but for kindling, Katie bar the door, stuff goes up amazingly well. And if the fire burns down long, you got some good coals like I got in this one here. Good fire building is all about getting a good set of coals. Once you get a good set of coals going, that puppy will burn all night, even on a wet night. And that takes a while. It takes an hour or two, maybe 3. And until then, keep some of that birch bark handy because you don't want to go out, because the wood right now is pretty wet here. Alright, so going on towards 10 minutes, I think I'm going to just kind of click off here and enjoy the fire. And thanks for watching this. Hope you're enjoying these as much as I am enjoying filming them.